All right, so we have a ton of people moving into Michigan. In today's video, we're going over what it's like to move from California to Michigan and what to expect.
There are some differences, believe it or not.
Yes, there are. So stay tuned, guys. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Kevin Irwin.
And I'm Ross Young.
We are local real estate agents here in the West Michigan area. If this is your first time to our channel, we go over anything and everything that has to do with living and thriving here in the West Michigan area. So whether you're looking to move here or make a move here in West Michigan, do not hesitate to reach out to us. You can call us, you can text us, you can send us an email, even send a pigeon carrier if you have to. Whatever you have to do, we have your back when it comes to making a move here in Michigan. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little bell notification so you get notified whenever we put videos out. All right, Ross. So California to Michigan. Yes.
Now, there are some notable differences. Obviously, let's start with probably the most notable is
obvious.
Cost of living.
Yes.
It is more expensive any way you look at to live in California than it is in Michigan.
Yeah, 100%.
And why don't we kind of cover the housing? We're both real estate agents. Let's start with housing. How much does it cost really to live in California versus Michigan?
So we'll just go over a couple different things. One noticeable difference is the state income tax in California is 13%. Here, it's 4.5%. So even right there, if you are making a lot of money in California, it is costing you a ton of money.
To live in California.
Yes. Now, as far as housing prices go, San Francisco,
what, 6 times?
6 times the price that it costs to buy a house here in Michigan.
Right.
So that means your 3-bedroom, 2-bath in San Francisco is going to be in the $1 million plus range, where here is probably going to be $350 to $400.
Right. And you know, we know that San Francisco is might be an outlier for California. So we did some other areas too, and we also found that even the lower end areas of California, you're still going to be paying
lower end.
Right. I can't really say lower end, but you know what I mean. You're still going to be paying probably twice as much for a house than you would here in Michigan.
Right.
So your estate here in Michigan would be what, $1-2 million, where that'd be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in California.
Right.
Give you a little perspective.
So
there's considerable difference. Now, other aspects, cost of food, that's kind of important.
Yes.
You would expect to find 10 to 25% more expensive groceries and food in California than they do in Michigan. And that just sounds astronomical to me.
It does. It's absolutely crazy. We do have a best friend that is from California, and so she's told us all kinds of stories about, how much more expensive it is there, and it's probably why she doesn't live there anymore, even though she'd love to.
Right.
Because one of the pros of California is the weather, and that's where you hear a lot of times people saying the sunshine tax, because you guys get so much sunshine, way more than we do.
Right. And on that point, my sister, my brother-in-law just moved back to Michigan from California. And we've also helped a lot of clients move here from California to Michigan too. And everybody says they absolutely love Michigan, and there's good reason. So the types of homes that you're going to find here in Michigan are all going to have basements. Well, I can't say all of them, but it's more common to find a home with basement than you would without. Now, don't be afraid of this, because we've had a lot of people move here and they're like, I don't understand basements. Can you kind of run me down on it? And we're happy to do that. Especially when people fly out here, we're able to kind of walk them through. This is a basement. This is what you need to look out for, things like that.
And one of the cool things, this is something that we've had multiple different buyers talk about, wanting a 2-story because they're not used to basements. Well, here you can get a ranch home and not have to worry about going upstairs because we have a basement. So technically it's 2 stories. It's just below ground. So that is something that's a little bit different here, not needing that 2-story.
Right. You have 3 levels with the same footprint. So you have more square footage on the same footprint.
Right. So now one difference that you guys are going to see by coming to Michigan is the yard differences. A lot of places in California, the houses are pretty close to each other, and you don't have a a very big yard space. And I think a big part of that is because you do have so much sun, so little rain that it's very hard to keep your lawns green. Where here we get so much rain and the ground has so much moisture in it that, you know, we do have very green lawns.
Now, don't misconceive this by saying that we live in the Amazon. No. We do have dry spells, but it's not nearly as bad as what you would find over on the West Coast. So yard size is kind of relative, but everybody that's been here, they always say, look at the size of this yard. And, you know, to us, we're looking at it like it's not really that big, but we're also used to an acre of grass because of what you said. And let's also talk about, on the topic of yards, is how close the houses are together. You know, that was another reason why a lot of people are moving here, is because you're so tight in California that you don't have any room to expand. And kind of going back to cost of living, it's awfully expensive for even just a 1-2 bedroom apartment. You could rent a whole house here.
Yeah, so where over in California, a 3-bedroom house is $2,800 a month. That gets you a heck of a nice house here.
Yes.
Like a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house.
And we just had some clients that moved here from the Valley area, and you know, they sent me their previous house, and it was right up next to the other houses. And I'm like, I'm not sure how you can do that. And we're like, that's why we're moving. And now they have 3 acres, and they are happy as can be.
Yes, absolutely. So there's a lot of positives to moving here to Michigan.
Yep.
There really is.
Now, I think the next obvious point is landscape. You know, California got mountains. I mean, California is absolutely beautiful. There's no doubt about that. The coast, the Pacific Ocean, things like that. And yet we still have a lot of people that come here. They're like, I can't believe how green Michigan is. Yeah. And I think a lot of that's got to do with the weather, which we'll get into in a minute here. But let's kind of go a little bit more about landscape. North side of Grand Rapids, you're going to find more trees, more more condensed areas than you would on the south side of Grand Rapids. If you guys want more information on this, we'll have a link to the North versus South Grand Rapids video in this video. And people that move here, they're like, you know, I kind of expected more of a Midwest feel, kind of like where it's Iowa, plains, corn everywhere. But Michigan's really kind of an outlier, I would say, for the Midwest.
Yeah, absolutely. And going more into that landscape, you know, Michigan has over 11,000 lakes.
Yep.
You know, our water presence here in Michigan is absolutely huge, which is why I think a lot of people are moving from California, from Florida, from these coastal areas, because they want the 4 seasons, and we still have all of those water features for them to enjoy.
Right. So let's kind of talk a little bit more about the weather. Yep. In Michigan, you have 4 seasons. 4, I would say, very pronounced, but other years it's, you know, it seems like go from winter to summer. But obviously you have summer, fall, winter, spring. And during the spring and fall times, you would expect to find somewhere around 60-degree weather. During the spring, it's a little bit wetter than it is in the fall, but you still find about the same temperatures. During the summer, it does get hot. Some other things people from California have mentioned, that it's very humid.
Yes.
But you're also coming from a very dry climate to more of a wetter climate. Like Kevin said, we have 11,000 lakes, and we have a lot more rain, and we get snow.
Some years we get a lot of snow.
Some years we get a lot.
Other years we're wanting more snow because we've barely gotten any. That's what we mean by the weather is, you know, it's kind of outlier years here in Michigan. It's very, I guess, random years. There's some years that we'll get massive snowstorms.
Yes.
You know, like 1.5 2 foot of snow, and we're all buried in our house for a week.
Right.
But that really hasn't happened in a while, so I'm not sure what's going on with that, but we'll see if it comes back.
It might be due for one.
Yeah.
Might be due for a bad winter.
So as soon as you move here, we're going to get that 2-foot snowstorm.
Right. Yep. Now, kind of on the same token, let's talk about, you know, I mentioned everything's so much greener here than it is in California. And I think that has a big part to play in the wildfires. I mean, that's all over the news here in the Midwest, is all the wildfires and stuff that they're having out west.
Right.
And we get a lot more rain than what you do in California, hence our 11,000 lakes, Great Lakes. We have a lot more water features. So that's one thing you don't really have to worry about here in Michigan is wildfires. I mean, you have spot fires here and there, but it's not as pronounced where you're burning thousands and thousands of acres like you are out west. So there's a positive.
I don't even remember the last time we had a wildfire to talk about.
Right.
So it is very low chance of having wildfires here. Now, one of the other big features that you're going to get by coming to Michigan is you don't have to worry about the ground shaking. There is not really any earthquakes here. You know, we all have heard the joking that California is going to crack off into the ocean because of all the fault lines that you guys have out there. You don't really have to worry about that in Michigan. I've been on this earth for 33 years, and I do not remember an earthquake here.
I think I've experienced one, and it felt like there was a truck going by. That was
right.
I mean, just a little bit of vibration.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah, nothing crazy, nothing, you know, you don't have to worry about that here. So that is one positive side for you guys.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, let's move on to talking about the water. Now, we kind of touched on it actually quite a few times in this video, but our water features, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. It's not salt water, it's fresh water, so you don't have to worry about all of the things that go along with being in salt water. Sharks and some of the crazy wildlife you guys have there. Our lakes, you know, like Lake Michigan, you can't see across it, so it still feels like an ocean. You know, it is very large. There's a lot of stuff we don't know about Lake Michigan because it goes so deep. So if you are that water lover, you're still gonna get that feeling of coming here. The lake life is very prevalent all up and down the lake shore. There's multiple different really cool cities to check out and to live in, you know, that lakeshore area. There, you know, if you're into the higher end housing and you're needing $1 million plus, there's plenty of options for you along the lakeshore.
Not only that, but we have some of the best beaches, top rated beaches in the world. So if you want the lake life, you want sandy beaches, white sandy beaches, West Michigan is the place to be.
Yeah. And we did make another video talking about the top 5 beach towns along Lake Michigan. So make sure you check that one out.
Absolutely.
We're going to end this and wrap this video up with the wildlife. Now, obviously, Michigan has the 4 seasons. So we've got, you know, spring, summer, fall, wintertime. Wintertime really makes it almost impossible for quite a few different reptiles to survive here. For California, you've got all kinds of poisonous, creepy crawlers, and because it never really gets cold there. Here, you're not really going to have to worry about that.
Yes, and you're going to find a lot of different species of plants here. I know that people that move in here, they're like, what does poison ivy look like? Which I guess you don't get very much of that out there, but what's very prevalent here. We don't have big redwood forest, but we do have lots and lots of trees.
Yes.
Trees are very prevalent here in West Michigan, big oak trees, maple trees, things like that. And obviously, the difference in ocean versus lake life. You guys have sharks. We thankfully don't have those. And there's a lot of fishing out in the Pacific Ocean that we don't have here neither. But there is a lot of opportunities for fishing, like salmon fishing, trout fishing, bass fishing, panfish, you know, things all over the place. So if you're a big fisherman, Michigan is definitely a great place.
Yep, absolutely. And I know quite a few different guys that do charter fishing out on Lake Michigan. So, you know, you're still going to get that similar experience to charter fishing out on the ocean.
Right.
Because Lake Michigan is so large.
Yep. And as far as hunting goes, if you're an avid hunter, there are so many opportunities, more in Michigan than you would find in California for you to go out hunting. We have white-tailed deer, we have turkeys, rabbits, small game, you know, everything you could think of as far as what you find in the Midwest. Now, I wouldn't expect to find too many like elk, like you would find out over on the eastern part of California, you know, things like that. But we do have some bears. Lo and behold, we do have bears, but they are further north. I would say probably past Big Rapids when you'd find them more prevalent. I say more prevalent, but I've only seen them maybe 1 or 2 times in my life.
It's not a ton. I mean, we do have bear sightings. We have had some different mountain lion sightings, very, very few. You know, those type of animals, you know, down in the lower peninsula, you're not going to find a ton of. You're going to find a lot of deer. A lot of times you're going to be driving down the back roads and you're going to find dead deer from people hitting them because they just pop out of the ditch and scare the ever-living crap out of you and total your car.
Right.
I might speak from experience.
Watch our Florida to Michigan video.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, there is a lot of positives for moving here. Obviously, we're not going to go over all of those in this video because it's going to be a really long video. But if you are looking to move from California to Michigan and you want more information, Ross and I love talking to you guys. We'll set up a Zoom call so you can virtually meet us, you know, and then obviously we're excited to meet you guys in person when you get out here. But we have helped a ton of people relocate here. So we are your relocation experts here in Michigan. So if you are looking to move here, make sure you let us know. We would love to help you out.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Till the next video. We'll talk to you soon.
Let's make it happen.